Hello, lore seekers. Let's talk Destiny. Today we'll be digging into one of the many tragedies suffered by Guardians trying to fight back the darkness. I'd like to tell you the story of a Fireteam led into the Hellmouth in an effort to stomp out one of the Hive's gods, Crota, the son of Oryx. First, however, I'd like to tell you the stories of the Guardians who put everything on the line to put an end to the son of Oryx before he came to Earth. The Fireteam was started by Ariana III, a guardian among those who once attempted to retake the moon in the Great Disaster. She enlists the help of Eris Morn, a survivor of the Battle of Twilight Gap, and Toland the Shattered, a warlock that went mad in his intense studies of the Hive Arcana. Along with them came the guardians Omar Aga, Moda, and Veltarlo, two hunters and a titan, respectively. Little is known of the stories of Omar, Sai, and Vel before venturing into the Hellmouth, but we do have a decent amount of knowledge pertaining to Eris, Ariana, and Toland. The most vital of these guardians is Ariana III, a warlock belonging to the Praxic Order, a group of warlocks whose philosophy revolves around driving away the darkness in lieu of studying it. Ariana is one of few surviving members from the 1,000-strong group of guardians that tried and failed to take back the moon from the Hive. Upon her return to the tower, she made it her purpose to track down Crota and avenge her fallen Fireteam and everyone else whose light was put out at the hands of the Hive when her own light and fury could not have saved them. Accompanying Ariana in her plans to crush Crota's power was Eris Morn, a hunter who's one of the elite members of Ikora Ray's Hidden, a clandestine group of guardians tasked with silently infiltrating enemy strongholds and gathering intel for the warlocks. Eris Morn was a survivor of the Battle of Twilight Gap, where the fallen houses, led by the House of Devils, waged an all-out war at the city's gates. It was this battle that inspired the construction of the Crucible, and it was from the armor of fallen guardians here that the Gjallarhorn was forged. In short, Eris is tough as nails, and awarded the prestige and respect that only the greatest guardians are given. After a long time trying to pinpoint the source of Crota's power, they were forced to look outside of the city for help. They found Toland the Shattered. Toland is a master of Hive lore, having tapped into knowledge that no human should ever have, and driven mad by his studies. This is not to say, however, that Toland is corrupted by the darkness like guardians such as Kabar the Legionless. Toland, from as far as we can tell, was entirely willing to destroy Crota with his allies. However, this is not to say that he did not have his own agenda. It is fair to say that Toland's expedition into the Hellmouth with Ariana's Fireteam was fueled by his desire to know of the song of Iriut, the Death Singer. He speaks of this desire with Ariana III before they enter the Hellmouth. Ariana, let's sing. Sing with me. No, you rattling machine, not yet. It's too soon. We don't know the words. We'll learn the song down there. We can learn it from her. She comes up from the deep, dark places where the greater Hive await to sing it to us. And here's a puzzle for you. The song is death. To hear it is to die. To know the words is mortal. A good point, Ariana. Death is just a word, isn't it? A catch-all term for the failure to go on, nothing spiritual, nothing with its own quiddity. We all died once, but it did not prove insurmountable. But what if? Listen, what if death were rectified, described in its totality, made autonomous and universal, separate from any context or condition? What if she could invoke the ending of anything? How then would she know the song, and sing it without herself dying? Perhaps they know a way to make themselves part of the song, part of something vast and burning that rots and peels into ash but never ends. Perhaps she has engineered this for him, and pinned his power up against the quiddity of death itself. I am so terribly curious to know. When the Fireteam found its way to the gates of the Hellmouth, Veltarlo was the first to fall. Fighting their way inside the dark gates, he was overwhelmed by the witch Vurek and her thrall, his ghost unable to reach him as he fell for the last time. Next fell Moda, who, with Ariana III, was separated from the rest of the Fireteam and chased after Omnigul, the hand of Crota. In her final hours she fought valiantly, slaying the Hive with the bones of acolytes when her knives failed her. She got close, but ultimately could not bring an end to her screams. Omar's fate was one worse than death, and witnessed only by Eris, who recorded it as such. The heart of Crota. It is her blood that feeds their fury. I thought Omar dead until I heard his screams. I followed them down to the darkest night of the caverns below. What I saw I witnessed all we fear. The villainy of the hive on full display. Among a sea of cocoons and surrounded by thousands more freshly spawned hordes, the heart held Omar's broken body in a vice of bone and pain. She was peeling the light from his body. How? I can't imagine, and I have tried. Tendrils of luminance tore away like flesh. With every strand, Omar's scream cut the dark, and was met with a chittering chorus from the unborn. I can't say if they were feeding off the light itself or the pain. My guess is both. Somehow, both. The heart, though I can't believe she actually has one, seemed to be conducting some nightmare orchestra, nurturing Crota's children with the echoes of Aga's light. Ariana III's fate is not clear, but it is assumed that she went out in a blaze of radiant glory, determined to be the last light the Hive ever saw in an effort to avenge her fallen Fireteam, in particular Wei Ning, a woman who seems to have been especially close to Ariana before her death. The two Guardians who either did not or likely did not die in the Hellmouth are Toland and Eris. Toland was separated from the group and either was killed, or as I believe, went off to try and study Eryut. If this is true, then Toland, if not dead, is likely to have suffered a fate worse than death, the details of which I shudder to think about. Before being lost to the Hellmouth, Toland imparted to Eris a way of blending with the Hive, becoming invisible to them. Her light drained away like the light of everyone in her Fireteam. She hid in the caves and tunnels of the moon among the Hive for years, until finally escaping and coming to the tower to warn Guardians of the danger that Crota presents. Ultimately, Ariana III's Fireteam is thought to have served as the fuel to summon Crota to this plane, and was unable to stop him. It is with this knowledge that the Guardians now must heed Eris's warning, and venture into the dark below themselves, stopping the doomsday event that Crota's arrival at Earth would surely bring. Stay vigilant, lore seekers. Until next time.